the egg lady, Donna Carter.
Do I need to turn this on?
No, it's on.
Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you. As she said, my name is Donna Carter, and I'm here today to tell you all those things that you've been wanting to know about eggs, but have just been too chicken to ask. Okay. When you go to the store and you buy a carton of eggs, the egg carton itself will tell you a number of things. It'll tell you the size of the egg and the grade of the egg. Size and grade are two different things. Size with eggs doesn't mean how tall it is, how big around an egg is, or how skinny an egg is. Large doesn't mean that the eggs take a large t-shirt or anything like that. Size with eggs means how heavy an egg is, the weight of an egg. Eggs come in a variety of sizes. One size that you won't, oh, I did that wrong, sorry. Where's my little thingy? Got ahead of myself. Okay, size equals weight, okay? Eggs come in a variety of sizes. One size that you won't find at the grocery store, actually it's a mistake egg, has the initials DY. Anybody know what that stands for, a DY egg? Double yolk, right, double yolk. And that is a mistake egg, and I'll tell you a little later how a double yolk egg happens. But the largest size egg that we can buy at the store is what? Very good, jumbo, right, jumbo. In Africa, though, they sell ostrich eggs, and one ostrich egg will feed about 6 to 12 people. When I started doing this demonstration, I contacted the St. Louis Zoo, and they gave me an ostrich egg. And this really, truly is an ostrich egg. Nothing has been done to it. This is how they look. When an egg like this is laid, it weighs about 4 to 6 pounds. They put a hole in the egg, and they took the inside out, and they ate it. They said it tastes a little different than a chicken egg. Some of the tribes in Africa use these eggs as little thermos bottles and carry their water around in them because they're very thick, strong calcium. This is the largest egg in the world. But the largest that we can buy is jumbo. And then I heard some of you say, what's next? The extra large, right? And then the large, and then medium, and then small, and then what? Extra small. Well, have you ever heard of a pullet egg? That's another form of an egg. And it goes, though, by another name in the trade. It goes by peewee. Okay? I brought along a sample of the different eggs. Here we have jumbo, extra large, large, medium, small. And here, if I can get it out, we have a little peewee egg, okay? This little peewee egg came from a chicken who has just started to lay her eggs. And she doesn't quite have the hang of it yet. And out come these little peewee eggs. But as she matures and her body becomes regulated, her eggs get bigger. And the older the chicken, the larger her eggs. The jumbo egg comes from a chicken who pretty soon will stop laying eggs altogether, otherwise known as the menopausal chicken. Back here, though, we have some different colored eggs. We have kind of a variety of the brown. We have kind of some blue and green eggs. Their shell colors are all different. But is there any difference inside these eggs? No. No difference. The shell color comes from the breed of the chicken. The white eggs come from the single-combed white leghorn chicken, little bird like this, little white, doesn't eat a lot, lays a lot of eggs. Brown eggs come from the Rhode Island Red, the Plymouth Rock, the New Hampshire breeds. They're a larger bird. They eat more, but they lay fewer eggs. That's why sometimes brown eggs are more expensive. They're not any different. They're not any better. There's just fewer of them. These little eggs here come from a chicken called the Araucana chicken, or the Easter egg chicken. She's from South America, and she lays eggs that are pretty colors. But inside all of these eggs, nutritionally, they're the same. Anybody know what determines the color of the yolk? How do we get that pretty golden yolk, or what makes it yellow? What they eat, right. At Ralston Purina Farms in Gray Summit, Missouri, they have an experimental laboratory, and they fed their chickens certain dyes. And they came up with a red yolk and a dark blue yolk and a dark green yolk. But It didn't change the yolk, it just changed the color. Okay, to be a large egg, though, an egg has to weigh 2 ounces. That's what makes it a large egg. So a dozen large eggs would be how many ounces?
24.
24 by law. That large carton of eggs has to weigh 24 ounces, or the producers are held for consumer fraud. Then an extra large carton of eggs is 3 ounces more per carton, and a medium is 3 ounces less. And then so forth. 24 ounces for you good cooks out there would be how many pounds? Pound and a half. Pound and a half. Yeah. Eggs are always jumping around in price, you know. But someday we may all buy eggs per pound, and that's because eggs are in what food group? Remember the 4 basic food groups? Where do the eggs go? Yeah, not in the dairy case, right? They put them in the dairy case, but they belong in the protein. They belong right there next to that sirloin steak, and they belong there because of perfect protein. 2 eggs equals 1 serving of meat. So even when eggs are selling, and eggs are always jumping around in price. Right now they're going up because Easter's coming. The demand for eggs is high, so they're going to go up in price. But I think on an average, maybe they're selling for about $2 a carton. You know, whoop, $2, make that $2. But we never stop to think what price this is per pound, okay? But it would be about $1.20 a pound. There is nothing you can buy for $1.20 a pound that has perfect protein, okay? Peanut butter has protein, cheese has protein, meat, of course, has protein, but eggs are just a perfect food. Eggs also, they are low in calories. There's only about 90 calories to a large egg, okay? They have no bone, no gristle. They're pre-portioned. They're always thawed out. And they're sterile till you open them, like a banana is sterile till you peel it, okay? Because I'm telling you all these wonderful things about eggs, but eggs do have that one controversial thing, right? Cholesterol, I know. Well, cholesterol, of course, is only in the yolk of the egg. And even people with cholesterol problems can eat as much egg white as they want. They have to avoid the yolk, okay? So by now we've all had a simple blood test from our doctor, found out our cholesterol level. Follow your doctor's advice. We're not trying to tell you anything different, but they're realizing, I've been doing this demonstration for many, many years, and they're kind of back to, you know, don't give up eggs completely. It is genetic. We don't all become diabetics. We don't all have a cholesterol issue. You can't force yourself because you eat a lot of eggs to have a cholesterol problem. It is more, again, genetics. Diet and exercise certainly can help. But they keep allowing us now again to have eggs. Eggs are a perfect protein, and you do not have to give them up completely. The other thing on that carton of eggs is the grade of the egg. When I go to the schools and do this demonstration, I ask the kids what grade they're in, and I can usually tell what age they are. And it's the same way with eggs. The grade of the egg equals the age of the egg. When a chicken first lays an egg, it is full of egg from the top to the bottom, and the shell is warm, and it consists of thousands of tiny little pores, like the pores on our skin. And it allows this egg to breathe, and as the egg starts breathing and cooling, there forms in the top of the egg, and the big end is the top. When you open your carton of eggs, they should all be in their big end up. And there forms there an air cell, and a little bitty air cell all around the outer edges. In the freshest egg that you can buy at the store, a AA egg, that air cell is very small, just about 1/4 of an inch, about the size of a dime. In an A egg, the next freshest egg, now we're talking, the egg's been around about 3 or 4 weeks, okay? It's been aging, so it gets a little bigger air cell, about the size of a nickel. In a B grade egg, again, we're talking 3 or 4 weeks between these grades. And so the egg, again, is aging, little bigger air cell. What do you think? Dime, nickel? Quarter. Quarter plus, actually. And in a C grade eggs are illegal to sell at the store. And that's because C grade eggs are about 1/3 air. But all of these eggs, even that C-grade egg, are terrific eggs. They have all the vitamins and minerals and protein that you need. But as an egg ages, air gets in the shell and the egg becomes watery. So those C eggs, and get even the B-grade eggs, they're kind of watery. And so they're sent to breaking plants. They're used in powdered egg products, cake mixes, things like that. But these two grades especially, you can buy at the store. Again, when I go to the school, I say to all the kids, well, if you were if you were eggs, what grade do you think you'd be? And of course, they would be right, nice fresh eggs, double A eggs, okay? And if they were broke out on a table from the side, they would look a little like this. You see, their white would have really good, strong, firm muscle tone. Their yolks would stand up pretty and high like a little yellow ping pong ball. And they'd have very little watery stuff around their outer edges. Well, then I say to the kids, well, if your parents were eggs, what grade do you think they'd be? We won't even go there. But they'd probably be a middle-aged B egg. And if they were broke out on a table from the side, though, they would begin to look a little more like this. Okay. You see the white muscle tone now is deteriorating, okay? They're starting to get a little flabby. The yolk doesn't stand up pretty and high anymore, just sort of lays there. And they do have a lot more watery stuff around their outer edges. Well, the kids think this is a real over-the-hill egg here. But they're wrong, because actually, this egg is better for some things than this egg. The super fresh egg is terrific if you want to fry an egg. Sunny side up in the skillet. It looks so pretty and nice. It's wonderful if you want to poach an egg. Because when you poach an egg, you drop that raw egg into a pot of boiling soup or water. And with its good muscle tone, it would hold together really good. If you drop this egg in the pot of boiling water, you get egg soup. But this B egg, this older egg, is much, much better if you want to hard cook an egg. If you want to make an Easter egg, if you want to make deviled eggs, okay? Because there's a nice little air cell that has formed around the outer edges, okay? And that lets you that lets you take the shell off very easily. But because we're so close to Easter, you're all going to get ready to make your Easter eggs. Maybe you've already done it, but I'll tell you how to make the perfect Easter egg. Okay, you take your cold eggs out of the refrigerator and put them in some cold water. Cover them. Doesn't make any difference how many eggs. Cover them up. Then you bring the water to a boil. Now, when it starts boiling, you turn the heat off and cover the pot. And set your timer for 20 minutes. And at the end of the 20 minutes, you get them out of there, okay? And you run them under cold water, take them off, okay? And you should have the perfect Easter egg. Now, here's the trick to getting that shell off, because most of the time we buy these AA super fresh eggs, and there's not much of a little air cell in there yet. So take your eggs out of the refrigerator. I would do this even if you have an A egg at home. Take them out of your refrigerator the night before you're going to cook them and let them sit out overnight in the warm air. An egg will age overnight unrefrigerated as it will 1 week in the refrigerator. You'll get this nice little air cell and it'll let you take that shell off real easy. And that's the trick. There's got to be a little air cell pocket to get that shell off without ripping the egg. So now, if you when you do get the shell off nice and easy, and you're eating your egg, and if you happen to notice a little green circle around the yolk, a lot of times that happens. Please, that's nothing to worry about. That's a little overcooking, and it's just the sulfur in the egg. No problem, won't hurt you. You know, it's kind of pretty. So anyway, that is the trick to Easter eggs. There we go. Okay, the question of the day, though. How many of you know how a chicken makes an egg? Well, you think so now. I'm going to tell you a little different. Don't want to hurt the guys' feelings here. You know, we appreciate men here. But the truth is, you don't need a rooster to make an egg. Okay? Oh, no. If you want to have a baby chicken, you need the rooster. But if you just want to make an egg, if the chicken just wants to make an egg for you and I to eat, she does it all by herself. The start of women's liberation right there with the chicken. New respect. New respect. Whoa, whoa, oh. Okay, let me try that again. I was going to. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so anyway. Here's what happens. When a little girl baby chicken is born, she has inside her body 5,000 microscopic eggs called yolks. And these little yolks start to grow until one becomes the size of a regular yolk. And every one of these yolks is encased in its own little sac. And on that sac is a little line called a suture line. Well, at just the right moment, that suture line opens up and drops this little yolk down into the oviduct, and the oviduct starts turning it into an egg. It starts spinning and spiraling it around, and that's how the egg gets its pretty shape. The first thing it does, it adds a layer of thin white. Then it drops it down, it adds a layer of thick white. Then it drops it down, it puts on the shell, and the chicken lays the egg. You know why chickens lay eggs, don't you?
Yeah.
Because if they dropped them, they'd break. Okay. Anyway, how long, though, do you think it takes for a chicken to make an egg? Not to make a baby chicken, but just to make this little old egg here. How long? That's right, 24 hours. A chicken lays one egg a day. She lays an egg almost every day. Sometimes she takes off, attend a nice little meeting, do a little shopping, you know. But most of the time, one egg a day. A chicken starts laying eggs at about 18 to 21 weeks old, and then she has a 60-week egg-laying career, no college necessary. And in that time, she can lay between 254 and 288 eggs. And when she's finished laying all these wonderful eggs for us, what do you think happens to her? Right. Her feathers are all chopped up and put in cattle feed because they're protein, like our hair is protein. The manure from the chicken is used in fertilizer, and the chicken herself is sent to the Campbell's soup factory. And you get about 47 cans of Campbell's soup from one chicken. Different things happen here, though, when our chicken is making an egg. For instance, that double yolk egg. Back when that chicken first starts to lay her eggs, her first egg may be a little peewee egg, and her next egg may be a big double yolk egg, because she doesn't quite have it in the old brain yet that it's one yolk per egg. And anyway, it's very dark and slippery in here, and sometimes two little yolks may drop down. And if that happens, the oviduct treats them as one, and we get a double yolk egg. This would never be twin chickens. There's not enough room in the shell for two birds to fully develop. But the record for yolks and eggs is 6 yolks in one egg. Have you ever cracked open a raw egg and you found on the yolk a little red blood spot? Okay. Well, first of all, let me assure you that it was not the start of a baby chicken, and you didn't have to throw the egg away or anything. What happened was, back when this little yolk was inside this sac here, the sac is made up of a series of blood vessels and animal tissue, and sometimes that little suture line might not just open up perfectly. It might get a little tear in it. And if it does, a little, oh, I should put that up there. If it does, a little drop of blood will get on the yolk. This is the same animal blood that you eat every day on hamburger and steak and everything, but if it kind of grosses you out on a yellow and white egg, there are a few things you could do. First of all, you could just pick that little spot right out of there, right, with a knife or a fork. Or you could put ketchup on the egg. Or if you're making a cake, just turn the beater on high. Nobody will ever know it was there. How about you crack open the raw egg and you see in the white this little ropey, twisted, tangled up thing there in the egg white. A lot of people try to pick that out. You do not have to raise your hands. Let me assure you again, it is not the chicken's umbilical cord. I know what you've been thinking. It has a name. It's called the chalaza. And back when that little yolk was inside the oviduct here, getting its egg white put on, some of the egg white got all twisted and tangled up at either end of the yolk. And now that serves as an anchor to keep that yolk right in the center of that egg. All that stuff is thick, ropey, twisted, tangled up egg white, okay? The same egg white that's around the rest of the egg. So please don't pick that out. Don't mess with it. Okay. Alrighty, I'm going to make 3 things for you today. Let me get my little stove lit, get my little apron on. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
On the box, it has a date. Sell by.
I will tell you.
Okay. I'm throwing eggs away sometimes.
Yeah. no, let me tell you real quick. I did kind of skip over that. Yeah, well, this is not like milk. And remember we talked about the grades and 3 or 4 weeks between every grade. So that's what this means, okay? The eggs don't expire because of the expiration date. These happen to be grade A eggs, so after that expiration date, they would turn into B eggs. And they're still good for another 3 or 4 weeks. And then after that, they're going to C. Double A would go to A would go to B, you know. And really, we usually use our eggs before 2 or 3 months. You know, I will just tell you now a good way if you don't use your eggs quickly. When you buy them, and I don't think this holds true so much anymore. They have those racks on the doors, and they used to not even put a lid on them. So then every time you opened up your refrigerator, you get like warm air, cold air, warm air, cold air, and the eggs would age, you know, quicker. Now they put lids on it, so that's good. If you want to take them out of the cart and put them in your little egg holder, shut the lid. The best way, if you don't use them quickly though, just leave them in the carton and put them in the back of your refrigerator where it's the coldest, and they will last for months. Okay, don't throw your eggs away. It's not like milk. They will last for months and months. Anyway, okay, well, I'm going to make 3 things for you today. I'm going to make you an omelet. I'm going to make some dessert crepes, and we're going to make an instant breakfast drink. And as I know somebody asked me earlier, I do have copies of all the recipes up here. So, and your person in charge was nice to run some copies off. So there's a whole bunch of copies up here for you. So those are for later. Okay, an omelet is an envelope of eggs, and you can put anything in this envelope that you like. We're going to put some cheddar cheese and a little mild taco sauce and make sort of a Mexican omelet. You can put all kinds of cheese in an omelet. You can put meat in an omelet, but why don't you need to put meat? They're protein, you're doubling your protein, you're making your omelet more expensive. But a lot of people like meat with eggs, so that's terrific. You could put ham or bacon or sausage. You could put vegetables, cooked or uncooked. They say people put peanut butter. That might be different in their omelet. Anyway, all kinds of things, whatever you like. Okay, how many eggs, though, does it take to make your average individual omelet? 2. No, 2. 2. You can make a 3-egg omelet. That's a big omelet, but that's fine. To open an egg, here we go. An egg is fat in the middle and smaller at the end, so when you want to open it up, you just bang it on a hard surface like that and you lift the lid off, okay? You just bang it in, woo, lift the lid off, okay. If you want to, you can put a little salt and pepper. If you're on a restricted diet, don't bother. Okay, if at this time we were going to make scrambled eggs, we would put milk in here because milk and eggs are scrambled eggs. Milk and eggs do not mix. If you looked under a microscope, the milk would go one way, the eggs would go the other. Water and eggs mix beautifully because eggs have water in them. So when you're making an omelet, always use water. How much water? I don't know, you just squirt some in. Okay, now there's all kinds of things to beat an egg with. This is a cute little egg whisk. Cute, cute. Don't need this kind of equipment. You can use a knife, a fork, a spoon, a jar with a lid on it and shake it up, you know, whatever you got. Don't beat the egg to death just till the yolk is broke. Okay, the first thing you do is you take a little butter, margarine, or Pam, whatever you like to use, and put it into the skillet. Okay, there are 2 ways to ruin an egg or to ruin meat. And one is to insult them with time, the other is insult them with temperature. Cook them too long, cook them too hot. And if you do both of those things, this is what you end up with. A rubber egg. You would never want to fry an egg in a skillet this hot. Oh, my butter flew out. Get back in there. Okay, that's margarine, by the way, I'm using because butter does have a tendency to burn. Anyway, you don't want to do that. Oh, but it only takes 60 seconds to make an omelet. And if any of you have a second hand on your watch and you want to try to time me, we'll see if we can make this omelet in 60 seconds or less from the time it hits the skillet, starting now. So put all your egg mixture into the skillet and right away it should start bubbling up and you heard that psst, that's the sound you want to hear, okay? So you bring the cooked egg into the center and then you tilt the pan, okay? Just bring the cooked egg, part of the cooked egg, into the center and tilt the pan. And let all that raw, uncooked egg go to the outer edges. If you still have a little raw egg left, okay, just use your spatula like a little paintbrush and get it to the outer edges. Now you take your ingredients. If you're right-handed, you put your ingredients on the left. But if you're left-handed, then you put your ingredients on the right. Okay, you reach down underneath the unfilled portion. You don't need the spatula anymore. Like, please. Ta-da! You have to put my plates on this side. Threw me off. Anyway, omelet is anybody time me first of all? 45. How much? 42. Woo! Now she's woo! Okay. Using those, smartphones, they are just so smart, Anyway, an omelet is a French word. It means blade in French, and that's because an omelet should look like the blade of a knife. Although sort of in this case, like a little taco, all filled up with whatever you like. Alrighty, let's make some dessert to go along with that. A crepe or crepe is the correct, I'm going to put that down, is the correct pronunciation, is a very thin pancake that you do something fancy with. We're going to make dessert crepes because they have powdered sugar in them. Not all crepes have sugar in them. You can make a crepe with regular flour, wheat, rye, but to make your basic dessert crepes, you take 2 things of, what's my flour? Flour, and 2 things of powdered sugar. Actually, I think that was backward, but that's good me. If you like to measure, those are tablespoons. And then you take 2 eggs. Okay. 1, 2. Okay, now we have 2 of this and 2 of this. So that's how many portions dry? 4. So we need 4 wet to go with the 4 dry. Again, you can use milk. We're going to use water. Makes them a little lighter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. You beat it up. You try to get all the lumps out. Okay, but if you don't get all the lumps out, that's okay. You just tell everybody you're serving Rocky Road crepes. Okay. Alrighty, beat it up. Love these hand mixers, but oh well. Okay, how are we doing that? It could be a little thicker, but we'll try. Okay, the first thing you do is, again, you take a little butter, margarine, Pam, put it into the skillet. Maybe Pam wouldn't work on this, but anyway. You let it melt, you let it swirl around and coat the bottom of the pan, and then you wipe it out. That is called seasoning the pan, and you only need to do that for your first crepe. Now, just like with the omelet, how do we know, got that a little high, how do we know if our pan is hot? We need a nice hot pan, but how can you tell if the pan is hot? If it smokes, right? But they used to say, spit in the skillet if it sizzles, it's hot. We're not going to spit in the skillet, the little water sizzles, it's hot enough. Okay, now, you take your batter. In most crepe recipe books it will say, take 2 tablespoons of batter, put it into the skillet, swirl it around, you've got a round crepe. That doesn't always work. You put 2 tablespoons and the batter goes all over like a spider. It's terrible. Don't worry again about all that silly measuring. Just take all of your batter, pour all of your batter into the skillet, and then pour it all out. There you go. Crepes are beautiful and delicious for dessert, but they're not just dessert. Pretty ones, flame them. Not going to flame them today, don't worry. How are we doing? Okay. I keep losing my lip. There we go. Chicken divan made with chicken and broccoli and cheese sauce. Woohoo, woohoo. Got a hot skillet. How do we know when our crepe is done? It's dried out, brown around the edges. Break part loose, set the pan down, and pull out your pretty little crepe. Okay, woohoo. Okay, for those of you who missed that, again, all the batter in, and all the batter out. Okay, shake the pan and let it cook. We also have crepes. Gee, I'm not sure what those are. But I have crepes. There we go. Enchiladas. Crepes are an international food. They're eaten all over the world. In Mexico, a crepe would be an enchilada or a burrito. In China, a crepe is an egg roll. Okay? Again, though, how do we know when our crepe is done? Woohoo, I got a hot skillet here. dried out looking, and brown around the edges. Now this little part here, when I poured that batter out, is now known as the ear of the crepe. Kind of looks like a little ear. Hello, hello. Yeah. And what you do, dried out brown, you just break the ear loose and set the pan down and pull out your pretty little crepe, okay? I think we can get one more out of here. This little bitty bit of batter will make about 4 to 6 crepes. Okay, you can make crepes ahead of time if you want. You can put wax paper between them and freeze them if you need to, and then fill them up. Okay, we have all kinds of, fill it with all kinds of goodies. We have some cherry pie filling here. Okay, we're going to put a nice little row across the center. Okay, fold the one side over, fold the other side over. Okay, let me turn that around. There's always a prettier side. Of course, the side that we broke the ear, the little ear side, is never as pretty as the other side. So that's the side you want to put in first. So put that one in and put that one over, and then ta-da! Sprinkle with powdered sugar. Well, that came out fast. Okay. Woo. Anyway, there is dessert. Okay. But thank you. And I turn the heat down again. And if you have problems, if it's getting done, if it's getting brown around the edges before it's getting done, before it's drying out, turn that heat down. I had my heat a little bit high on those, so this one's, no, I probably turned it down too low. But anyway, while we're waiting for this one to finish cooking, I will tell you a couple jokes. Why did the chicken go halfway across the road? Just halfway across the road. Because she wanted to lay it on the line. And, dried out, brown around the edges, break the ear loose, set the pan down, and voila, okay, and that pretty little crepe. And also, why does a chicken coop only have 2 doors? No, because if it had 4 doors, it would be a sedan. I was at a bingo. I was at library bingo. I don't know if you have that up here, but at our library, I'm from South County, they have once a month library bingo. And of course, you get to win books and some kind of dumb prizes. But anyway, ta-da! Oh, you want to take pictures? Ta-da! Okay, anyway, so I did happen to win one of the things this time. And so I was looking through the books, and I found a joke book for my grandson. And it was kids' jokes. I don't think they were written by kids, but they were picked out by kids, so that, guaranteed to make children laugh. And they were kind of cute, but they had a food, category. I thought, ooh, I'll get a new egg joke. And the only egg joke, and I'm only telling you, I'm not going to, because it's not that good. But the only egg joke they had in there is, what did the one egg say to the other egg? You better get cracking. So anyway, okay, well, I know, let's see, did you eat today? No, you don't come and eat. Do you eat later? You're going to eat, you're going to have dessert. But anyway, hopefully you all had breakfast. It's important that you have your daily protein, but sometimes people don't eat breakfast. They say they don't have time. They'd rather sleep than eat. So they have invented instant breakfast, okay? Consumers Report likes to tell you ways to do things better, and they said if you really want to buy the best instant breakfast, though, don't buy this, okay? It does have all the good stuff in it. They tested it, all the good vitamins and minerals, and my goodness, all kinds of stuff. But make your own. Cheaper, tastes better. Here's what you do. You take some juice, any kind of juice you like. We're going to use pineapple juice. You could use apple juice, cranberry juice, grape juice, orange juice. Take your juice in the morning, afternoon, evening, whenever. Put it into the blender. If you don't have a blender, just a jar with a lid on it is terrific. And then you take nature's instant breakfast, all right? These little eggs have perfect protein, right? Right? All right. Every vitamin that you need but one, and that's C. And now you're going to get your C from your pineapple juice. They're low in calories. They're filled with minerals and nutrients. That was a first. If they had gone in the blender, that would have really been good. No, anyway, 1 egg to 2 eggs would be even better. Put them in. Instant breakfast! Okie dokie. You thought I was kidding, didn't you? No, I've never done that before. That just slipped right out of my hand. Whoa. Okay, I won't be doing that again. Anyway, you're going to love this. You're just going to love this. Oh, and you're not concerned about that shell now, are you? No, no. Because what's the shell made out of? Calcium, and you need calcium for strong bones and teeth, of course. All right. I would like to tell you a few final things. As I said, I have copies of all the recipes up here. They're everything that I made today, plus a wonderful quiche recipe. Quiches are great things to make if you're cleaning out your refrigerator and you just have a little bit of this and a little bit of that and you don't know what to do with it. Throw it in a pie shell and make a quiche, okay? Great quiche recipe, and everything else I made. I also enjoy singing, and when I started doing this, I wrote a little parody about eggs. And it's to the tune of Peg of My Heart. But it's entitled, of course, Egg of My Heart, right? And it goes like this. Egg of my heart, I love you when you crack apart. I love you in a souffle, any old way. Poached or hard cooked, scrambled, fried, eggs sure keep me satisfied. Egg of my heart, can't lie, it's good if you're on a diet with protein so high. A great buy egg of my heart. Thank you. We are going to cut this stuff up, and you can have a taste. We have some little plates here. It's just kind of finger food. You know, you eat it with your fingers and wipe your hands on your clothes afterward. Actually, I'm just kidding. They furnished some wonderful, where I put them, forks. There were forks. We'll find them. Okay. Anyway, I do have some cards up here. My phone number is on the recipes if you know of another group that might be interested in learning about eggs. I know you're looking forward to this drink. I know you can't wait. But I have to tell you a little secret. First of all, eggs, well, the eggshell is heavy, okay? And there is no eggshell in that drink. It all went to the bottom of the blender, okay? So when you when you make the drink at home, open up the egg first, okay? But remember this around next April Fool's Day. You get the kids over, you know. Don't throw the egg in the air first. That was not part of it. And anyway, but this is a terrific drink. If you ever go to Dairy Queen now, and they're selling their Orange Julius's again. I don't know why they stopped for a while. And people love them, and they are good. But what you're truly drinking is powdered sugar, powdered juice, and powdered eggs. Raw eggs have no taste, but they just make everything frothy. So this is a drink you want to drink right away because it's got all that nice little froth on the top. Please do not be concerned about salmonella in raw eggs. It has virtually been wiped out way back in the 80s. They put tight refrigeration laws on eggs. And unfortunately, I cracked an egg coming because I usually show. Here's the rule about an egg. Never use a cracked egg. Now, this doesn't mean, because you're not going to boil your eggs anymore, as I was telling you before. You notice, you bring them to a boil and you and you cover them and you don't boil them, because we call them hard-cooked eggs now, because when you boil them, they bang together and then they crack. So don't boil your eggs. But if you happen to have done that and your eggs cracked that way, or you dropped it and it cracked, or whatever, if you open that new fresh carton of eggs and there is a crack in the shell, please, take it back, tell them they'll give you a new carton, whatever. Never use a cracked egg. Once there's a crack, a little bacteria can get inside, and that's when we hear about these isolated incidences of salmonella in raw eggs. Of course, it's much more prevalent in raw meat, raw fish, and things like that. But, do what, you feel need, but, as long as your egg isn't cracked, as long as you've kept it refrigerated, it's okay. Anyway, you like it? Well, good. Cheers. Okay, well, come on up, have a taste, and have a recipe. And again, thank you for having me.